around the world.
Australia. Let's go ahead and go around the globe this morning. Heart to heart connected. Young Love After 50. I live today. How are you, Jim?
I'm really good. I'm feeling really, really good, and it's going really, really well. We got a great show planned today.
Oh, it's so dynamic. Life is so worth every tear just to be activated by the sacred yes.
And this weekend is Memorial Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to celebrate it? We got a great video. We went up to Dale DeBry, who runs the Lancaster Cemetery District,
Yes.
which is supported by the County of Los Angeles.
Go.
And there's over 800 veterans there. And we did a great video with her, with Chris Spiker at AV9, so we'll be showing you that today. As well as, I have a rocket here. She is launched.
Me.
Well, here's the deal.
Mama Greenleaf?
Yeah, Mama Greenleaf. Mama Greenleaf. Exactly. I'm going to say it first, Monsanto. Okay? And we got some information we're going to share with you today. And we think we discovered why we fell asleep.
Oh, just lulled into that false sense of security that someone else is taking care of the kitchen. While we're doing, what else are we doing? Busy, 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 busy.
Well, last weekend was the walk for obesity, to get in shape, to feel better.
Healthy Communities, an alliance between Palmdale and Lancaster. Bill Warford, you were the star, are the star on site about this event. It was 4 years now of simply understanding it within our community in Los Angeles County. We are leading in obesity and illness. And so Dr. Tzu? Dr.
Tzuo?
There's three.
It'll be in the video.
You'll see it in the video.
That's right.
But nonetheless, there was a walk in Lancaster last weekend to promote healthy communities, and that's what we're baby blooming. Don't call me a baby boomer. I'm a baby blooming, and I know that we all can bloom beautifully.
Outstanding.
Bloom where you're planted.
So why don't we right now go ahead and go to that walk last weekend with Chris and
the doctor and Bishop Henry Hearns
and of course Bill Warford.
Bill Warford and leading by example. That's what we get to do.
Be right back, everybody, with more on GMOs from the Whole Weedery, our pharmacy
and kitchen.
Well, this is the 4th annual year.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And it's part of our overall scheme to improve the healthy Antelope Valley. First part being healthy eating, and then the second part is active living, which is our HEAL program that we're doing. And we're just glad to be here, and I'm glad the Bishop's here, and we're very happy the support of the community to get things going.
No Valley Partners for Health.
Just type that in, Google it, and it'll get you to the website. You know, we lead LA County in obesity and mortality rates, so if anybody can do it, we have a chance to transform the world by being an example to the rest of the country that we can turn this thing around.
Doctor, did you know that we also lead the county in nice?
In niceness.
Niceness.
I
We
believe
really
that
do.
too.
Yes, we do.
People are pretty happy here in the Antelope Valley, so we have to combine happiness now with healthy eating and active living to transform our healthcare outcomes.
Today is just to raise the awareness to let everybody know. In fact, I got a little word that I use all the time, and I don't know if I've said it publicly or not, but every one of us know that someday or the other we're going to pass away from this life as we know it. And so there are a lot of people who hang around and just kind of lose a little bit of this and get into diabetes and get too fat and whatever. My plan is to walk to my gravesite. And then one day they said, uh-oh, Bishop is gone.
You're both a blessing to the Antelope Valley.
Oh, well, so are you. We
We're
appreciate
very
your coming out
fortunate.
here and being part of this.
Oh yeah, wouldn't miss it. Positively. And Mr. Warford's going to join us.
He is. He's our star.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is yet, but he usually leads the pack.
Well, we're very excited about it. It's great to have so many people out here. Great to see you out here ready to go.
Oh yeah.
And we just want to get the word out that we're trying to promote health and fitness. And you never know. Somebody might see this group of a couple hundred people walking down the street and find out, what's that all about, and want to be part of it as well and get fit.
Does the event get bigger every year?
It seems to, yeah. We've gotten a few more people every year and get people out and people tell their friends about it and come out the next year. So
What, did you have the idea?
No, it's actually Dr. Phil Tuso.
Yes.
And I think Roger was part of it too. We had a big community meeting 4 years ago about the unfortunate statistics of the Antelope Valley in terms of like diabetes and obesity and things. So what can we do to help promote fitness? And they came up with the idea of just an annual walk. Unlike most events, it's not a race, it's not a fundraiser. You don't have to raise money. There's no charge. You just show up and just get the numbers out there of people to walk and say, hey, we are actively promoting fitness in our community.
It seems like such a simple thing to do. Are more people walking in the community?
I think so. You see people out walking, especially now with our beautiful new boulevard downtown here in Lancaster. You see a lot of people out in the mornings.
Makes it easy.
Exactly. It's when you have a scenic venue like that to walk, it seems like the miles just kind of fly past. It's a lot more fun that way.
Okay, so what time does this all start?
Soon. I think we'll have a couple speeches and kick it off, and then I think we'll start walking here in the next few minutes.
Well, Bill, thanks for being part of the Antelope Valley.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you're AV nice.
I try to be.
Yeah.
It's easy to be AV nice in such a nice community.
Positively. Thank you.
Well, this is the 4th annual year.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And it's part of our overall scheme to improve the healthy Antelope Valley. First part being healthy eating, and then the second part is active living, which is our HEAL program that we're doing. And we're just glad to be here, and I'm glad the bishop's here, and we're very happy the support of the community to get things going.
No Valley Partner for Health.
Just type that in, Google it, and it'll get you to the website. We lead LA County in obesity and mortality rates, so if anybody can do it, we have a chance to transform the world by being an example to the rest of the country that we can turn this thing around.
Doctor, did you know that we also lead the county in nice?
And niceness.
Niceness. We lead the county in niceness.
Oh, how about that? Niceness, obesity, and illness. Okay.
So let me see if I understand this. So we're with the whole eatery right now, doing our live podcast, so we're 8,000 people watching, and you tell me that the piece we show, the lady who was in charge of that walked in the whole eatery.
That's the divine flow. That's the synchronicity. When we lead from our heart, it just brings all of these messengers and we connect heart to heart. We are good together. Did you know on Avenue P in Palmdale, there's a sign that says we are good together. It's at the Red Cross on Avenue P. They have a rose garden with a sign that says we are good together, and we certainly are. And why not be nice and kind to one another? Isn't that what Jesus would do?
That is what Jesus would do.
Jesus would do that. And, he also was a radical. Remember him tipping over the money changers? So that's what we're doing, is we're bringing divine light, transparency, the urgency of how we all are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the way that you're spiritually liberated is you simply don't have anything to hide. I get to be me. I'm okay.
Total transparency.
Yeah, and total transparency is so freeing, and it's far from perfect. Way above average, isn't it, Jim?
Yes, it is.
But our sponsors, because we certainly don't do this alone. Cheryl here at the Whole Wheatery, her whole crew is behind us 100%, give us this platform to speak freely and to inspire all of us to greater awareness and aliveness. Antelope Valley Christian School, thank you for all that you do with our community. AV Florist, AV Nice, you are the infection. And then Avon's Furniture, Bob Turner, you're my favorite cyclist in the whole planet, and we adore you. Now, these are ones that have the courage to step forward in a new day with greater awareness and understanding and care and compassion. That's where you want your money to flow. Flow your money in this direction. Avon's Furniture, Lancaster Insurance, Bob Finberg, you're our insurance guru. Home-Based Realty, Keller Williams. I'm going to talk about them once more because they just grow such fertile soil there at Keller Williams, and every time I have the pleasure to step in, I come away so fueled and energized. So thank you, Keller Williams in Palmdale, for all that you bring. Your Red Day was such a success. Would love to see you out at American Heroes Park this Saturday, May 25th, for the march that we're doing to shine light on the destruction of our seed. We're going to free the seed.
We're going to free the seed.
We're going to free the seed.
There's a lot to this whole thing. It's pretty darn amazing. And I got to tell you, honestly, I guess I call it a veil of illusion. But Walt Disney put this whole thing together. I really think gave it the platform to make it candy instead of and okay. So we found this video, which is 9 minutes long. You got to watch it. It captures 1967. It's by the Disney Historical Society, and it tells us about Monsanto's ride to fame at Disneyland with the inner space. And when we listened to it today, we were mesmerized, blown away, because it tells us what they're going to do to us. Play by
This
play.
was in 1967. 1967. I was 9 years old.
Well, see, you would have been acceptable. See, now as you're going through this ride, you're getting smaller and smaller and smaller, concerned about it. This inner space thing. They're saying these words that we're living today. This is just amazing. So we're going to go ahead and cut to this video, and I want you to hear this video.
Yes, and maybe we could even take the headphones
No,
off.
because can't.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay, enjoy the introduction of Monsanto at Disneyland in 1967. And they are telling us what's coming, and here we are. So now we know more, and we have options. Enjoy this.
Come on, go.
For Disneyland's first decade, Tomorrowland featured attractions in which science and technology created a miraculous future. Rocket to the Moon, which blasted guests into outer space. Hall of Chemistry, featuring the Chematron, a device that showed young guests how chemists created materials for the future. Kaiser's Aluminum Hall of Fame, extolling the benefits of aluminum. And the House of the Future, designed by MIT, it explained how advanced plastics would improve suburban living. In contrast to these early attractions are those developed in the 1980s and 1990s, in which something always goes wrong, in which science and technology inadvertently place people in danger. The transitional attraction, connecting the gentle acceptance of the 1950s to the skepticism of the 1980s, is clearly Adventure Through Inner Space, sponsored by the Monsanto Chemical Company. Guests were miniaturized and placed inside a water molecule. Then they kept getting smaller, down into the world of the atom. The danger of shrinking, of scientific manipulation, is often present, but not always threatening. The post-show was a throwback to the 1950s, which presented the chemical achievements of the Monsanto Company. Synthetic fabrics, fertilizers for crops, all kinds of consumer goods. First designed in the mid-1950s, Adventure Through Inner Space was slotted to be part of the Scienceland expansion at the back of Tomorrowland. Scienceland would also include attractions about space exploration and time travel, but eventually Inner Space was developed on its own. On July 29, 1967, Inner Space premiered to the press as a centerpiece for the new Tomorrowland. The new Tomorrowland was a complete makeover of the area, which also included the People Mover and the rocket jet platform. Join me now as we journey back in time and experience highlights from Inner Space as it existed decades ago.
For centuries, man had but his own two eyes to explore the wonders of his world. Then he invented the microscope, a mighty eye, and discovered the fantastic universe beyond the limits of his own meager sight. Now your adventure through inner space has begun. Through Monsanto's mighty microscope, you will travel into the incredible universe found within a tiny fragment of a snowflake. I am the first person to make this fabulous journey. Suspended in the timelessness of inner space are the thought waves of my first impressions. They will be our only source of contact once you have passed beyond the limits of normal magnification. I am passing beyond the magnification limits of even the most powerful microscope. These are snowflakes, and yet they seem to grow larger and larger. Or can I be shrinking beyond the smallness of a tiny snowflake crystal? Indeed, I am becoming smaller and smaller. These tiny bits of snowflake crystal tower above me like an enormous wall of ice. Can I penetrate this gigantic prism? And yet this wall of ice only seems smooth and solid. From this tiny viewpoint, I can see that nothing is solid, no matter how it appears. And still I continue to shrink. What compelling force draws me into this mysterious darkness? Can this be the threshold of inner space? These fuzzy spheres must be the atoms that make up the molecule. 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to a single oxygen atom. And I see it's the orbiting electrons that give the atom its fuzzy appearance. Electrons are dashing about me like so many fiery comets. Can I possibly survive? And there is the nucleus of the atom. Do I dare explore the vastness of its inner space? No, I dare not go on. I must return to the realm of the molecule before I go on shrinking forever. Oh, how strange. The molecules are so active now. They have become fluid, freed from their frozen state. That can only mean that the snowflake is melting. Yes, the snowflake has melted, but there is no cause for alarm. You are back on visual and returning to your normal size. This has been one of many exciting adventures through inner space in a never-ending search for new ways to rearrange molecules for the benefit of mankind. Now, in our display area, you will see modern miracles created by rearranging the molecules of not only water, but of air, coal, petroleum, and many other raw materials. This is Monsanto.
In the post-show area, animated posters illustrate Monsanto's relationship with transportation, housing, and agriculture. But before we leave, there is one last thing to observe. This unusual global clock. It not only tells time throughout the world, but reveals Monsanto's international influence by pinpointing Monsanto's facilities worldwide. And then we are outside, where dusk settles over the new Tomorrowland, and eventually, night falls on inner space.
Is that truth or what? Hey, you guys, hey, look at organic here. I'm going to get up. You scoot over.
Scoot over, because we have Brittany Holland in the house. She is our organizer
Come closer together.
of our May 5th event.
May 25th.
May 25th event coming up this Saturday, Brittany. So you just watched that video. What jumped out at you?
Mostly that part that said rearranging molecules for the benefit of mankind. I don't know.
Well, and you know, the innocence of Disney and the innocence of humanity, really there's a lot of power in it. And what we can't afford to do is be naive.
Yeah.
And that being spoon-fed, that kind of complacency, it's going to be a better world. And now, fast forward it to 2013. How many years is that? 50 years? 45 years later? And it's not the world that we want to see. It's not destruction. So I declare peace. What do you declare, Brittany? You got to speak your heart. It's got to come from your heart.
What do I declare?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Peace.
Well, what compelled you to take on the event of the March Against Monsanto?
I just wanted there to be more awareness out here in the AV. And, I think more people need to know about what's in their food and, what's going on in the world.
And how it really all ties together, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because our genetically modified foods create disease within the body. So in the last 40 years, autism has just soared off the charts.
And diabetes.
Obesity soared off the charts. Diabetes soared off the charts. Cancers, just these misalignment, which is bite to bite to bite. And food is our medicine, medicine is our food.
And it isn't to be tampered with.
It isn't. There's a sacredness. This thing called sacred living. We want it. We want sacred births and sacredness in our deaths and in our food, our choices. You're a mother, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
So has your awareness, since you've become a mother, have you been paying more attention and speaking it?
Mm-hmm.
And within your own family, you're the one that's in charge of gathering of the food, preparing of the food, and then your children, just recognizing what grows them well.
Yeah.
Encouraging their curiosity. I saw the coolest thing on Facebook. It was an ice tray. You may have seen this. It was an ice tray. And then in each little section, it was like the little baby carrots, some green peas, pineapple cubes, some pretzel. It was just very little management compartments for curiosity for a child to take all these different colors and all these different tastes. It's like a palette, an artist palette. And then just exploring it, the textures, the taste, how they go together. And children naturally gravitate to satisfying food.
Yes.
So what's your placard going to say?
My what?
The placard, that's a placard.
Oh, I don't know. I've made a bunch of them, so I guess I just have to pick one.
And put on a shirt.
Yeah, I made a bunch of those too, so I guess I just got to pick one.
We're going to show up at American Heroes Park. It's on Jackman, just north of Lancaster Boulevard. Kettering, thank you. Kettering, just north of Lancaster Boulevard. Between 10th Street West and Sierra Highway, there's a beautiful park called American Heroes Park. And that's what we all are. We are America's heroes. Person by person, females are sheroes. We're a pair of sheroes. So 11 o'clock Saturday, May 25th. It's a march. Simple little march. It's not a 5K. You're not going to really break a sweat. We're going to march around our community and then land back at American Heroes Park for a potluck. We're going to have a potluck. There's a potting station where you get to take home a plant.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook last night 194 people have committed to being there.
Now it's up to over 200 today, this
Great.
morning. I think it's at like 204 this morning.
Great.
It's going to be such a dynamic gathering. I'm just so pleased.
And that's just on Facebook.
Yes, we don't know all the others, networks out there that are just going to help pull us together within this global event. You could tell that Monsanto, even in 1967, had global aspirations, and they've accomplished all of this. And they've been unregulated now, just like the weapons industry has been unregulated. And it's just based on destruction. When I hear herbicide, pesticide, insecticide, genocide, suicide, homicide, all of that is death and destruction, and we just accept it like it's just what we gotta do. Here, it looks like a banana. It must be a banana. Really? That's really is the complacency. Well, it tastes like a potato chip. There must be a potato in there. So the labels are critical. And all we were asking for last September, was to label the GMO so that we can buy what we want to buy. We are the consumers. And if you will not be transparent with us, then you're going to feel the boycott that's already in place. Boycott, B-U-Y-C-O-T-T. Google it. You will discover what a boycott is, and now you can unplug from the moneymakers who have no regard for the sacredness of human life and only want the arrogance that comes with, we can do better than Mother Nature. Well, guess what? The arrogance of man cannot do better than Mother Nature. There was you're probably too young for this. There was an amazing commercial years back. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. And it was exactly that.
What was the product?
I don't even remember. All I remember was that image of, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. And here we are, 40 years later. And we're in a world of hurt. I can't remember. But as a society, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And as we're moving more towards vegetables and fruits as our main diet, because it grows us so well, then we start to look, beyond. So it's so much to know out there, and it's easily overwhelming. But we're going to come together, share inspiration, just keep up the, gardens of resistance. How's your garden growing? Have you got a garden growing?
Yes, I do. It's doing pretty good so far.
What have you selected?
I have some snow peas and blackberries and tomatoes and peppers and squash.
Yeah, you'll have a bounty.
Yeah.
You sure will.
Yeah.
Next Saturday, not this one, fully involved with the march against Monsanto this Saturday. The following one, we're going to take Wayne Foss to Holland Ranch, who's the organic, and they are growing what we love to put in our juices, and sustainability is what we want. Community sustainability. This trucking our food into us it just drains our resources. We can grow what we need right in our own climates if we just respect what we're in, where we're at. I've discovered, and what I want to add to our juicing, is the aloe vera plant, the aloe vera gel.
On my table.
There you
Use it all
go.
the time.
There you go. So I've decided there's an aloe vera farmer that lives inside of me. It's a desert plant, and there's a mother plant. Isn't that interesting? Aloe vera, there's different varieties, but each variety has a mother plant. And off of the mother plant comes these little offshoots that are called pups. And it's just my idea of having as many pups as I want as I grow these mother plants. And then I can harvest. Once they're established, they require water every 2 weeks. That's how arid they are. So desert friendly, lilies of the desert. So we're going to come out. I got some pups. I got a pup for you. So you can pay it forward or you can take it home, whatever you want to do. But I've got a pup with your name on it.
Thank you.
You know, if we're not enjoying it, then whatever it is will not flourish. It's so much the joy and the generosity of spirit. Okay, 2 demons in the world is jealousy and greed. And each and every one of us can grow these demons within us. And as I look to someone whose life I admire, that I think is perfect, which I know no one's life is perfect, far from perfect, way above average. And then I have just discovered this community of other like-minded, heart-connected, passionate human beings, wildflowers, desert stars, baby bloomers, all around us. From NASA, Mojave Spaceport, right here at the whole Weedery, Rosamond is in the house with Brittany, Holland, and this is how we grow our garden good. Put May 25th, this Saturday, bring some food to share, your happy heart. We're going to make a difference. We're the virus.
I'm precious. I've got bubble wrap.
Join the fun. There's always room for more. Okay, Jim, what are we doing here?
Well, we're gonna go to your juicing piece. We'll set it up, and then we come back. It'll be me and Chris Spiker.
With the physician talking about the you
Ready?
guys.
Set it up.
Set it up. Well, there's so many voices and that are educating us on food is our medicine and medicine is our food. And this is why we're so inspired to pay attention to our seed. All of it comes from our sacred seed. And Monsanto simply has the monopoly on their seed, and our country is already seed dependent on Monsanto. We're fed corn and soy and corn and soy and corn and soy. Every time you eat a tortilla chip and you dip it in your salsa, is going to be a GMO corn chip. Unless it's labeled, you don't know. So this physician is breaking it down, a little 2-minute piece about the value of our nutrient-dense food. The nutrient-dense food is what satisfies the instrument, eliminating the constant craving that these genetically modified foods give us, creating obesity and severe health problems. Speak it, doctor.
Doctor, can you talk about juicing a little bit? How important is that as a therapy?
All our patients juice whatever their diet, whether they're meat eaters or vegetarians. The amount varies. Our vegetarian patients always need more. The purpose of juice is you're concentrating all the vitamins, minerals, trace elements, and enzymes in complete raw form. Now, it's true when you juice, you're getting rid of the fiber. Fiber is an important nutrient, but on the other hand, the Eskimos never ate fiber, and they never had constipation either. It depends on who you are, but yeah, fiber can be a useful nutrient. But the purpose of juicing is you're concentrating all the nutrients, and without the fiber, it's like pre-digested food. And a lot of our advanced cancer patients don't have a lot of extra energy, and digestion can take energy. With juicing, you're kind of pre-digesting it, and it's all raw, and it's all there. You get rid of the fiber, it's like instantly absorbed. You get all this nutritional bolus of good stuff right into the body very quickly. And the patient doesn't have to expend a lot of energy. For advanced cancer patients, it can be life-saving. You get all this good nutrition in them simply and easily. And also juicing, because it's raw, it has all the enzymes. We don't tend to think of enzymes as a nutrient. But every cell, whether it's from a plant or an animal food, contains hundreds, in fact thousands of enzymes as part of its normal metabolic machinery. Enzymes are catalysts that allow biochemical reactions to occur very efficiently. And every cell and every organism in the world has hundreds and thousands of enzymes. Dr. Edward Howell was a great American researcher who spent 50 years of his life showing that these enzymes from food can be absorbed like a vitamin and mineral, help the body repair, rebuild, and fight disease, even cancer. However, they're very heat sensitive. When you heat food, you destroy some of the vitamins like vitamin C, folic acid. Some of the minerals like calcium become less available. But these food enzymes that Howell talked about, above 117 degrees Fahrenheit, are neutralized and it knocks out. He was a big proponent of eating raw foods. But juicing is a good way to get enzymes into a body from the food in the pure form without any damage. So it has a lot of value. It doesn't require a lot of energy. It's all concentrated, and all the enzymes are there because it hadn't been heated. And it's absorbed very quickly, so you get a rapid supply of nutrients into these very sick people.
And what if you're not sick? I mean,
Oh, I juice myself. I don't juice as much as my sick patient. I think juicing is valuable for everybody. You're getting nutritional benefit quickly and easily right into the body in a concentrated form. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Get the phone. I'll get the phone. Are we live?
We're
oh,
live.
My goodness.
We're live. Hey, everybody. We're here with Chris Spiker,
Hi, Paul.
owner of
Antelope Valley Florist, AV Florist, The Florist, Chris's Flowers on Avenue J at Low Tree,
Lancaster. Okay.
California. We knew that.
We knew that. So how you doing, bud?
Wonderful.
And what's happening in your life?
Well, it's always holidays, flower events. So we have graduations, always graduations. That's exciting. Graduations from preschool, graduations from college, take a class. Whenever you've completed something, you should get flowers.
Now, what we've done is we've taken 4 platforms. Four. Did you look at 2 of them? Did you see 2?
My wife had a couple of platform shoes. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
So you mean like internet platforms?
I mean like websites, web pages.
Oh yeah, landing pages.
Landing pages.
Yeah.
Did you look at the 2?
I looked at Bloomin' Flower Basket, which is different from the Bloomin' Flower Basket.
Right.
And no G on Bloomin' Flower Basket.
That's what it says.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it right. First time. And do not buy flowers online. And a couple other. So we're kind of like opening virtual flower shops.
Well, it's exactly. And what Chris has done in the community, as a store goes out of business, he acquires that phone number. And the next thing you know, he's working it.
I'm not running for anything.
No, you're not?
I just enjoy being your florist. I enjoy being a positive, excited, encouraging force in the Antelope Valley.
You're AV nice.
I am AV nice. I'm digging it. People, they need to celebrate, what they have or get a little more excited or get involved.
Now, I've been here for 57 years.
Since you were almost born.
Since I was born here.
Heinz 57.
That's right.
Gotcha.
So I had no idea what happens at the Lancaster Cemetery District. I had no idea that this whole thing about giving back and what'd you say? What is Memorial Day?
Memorial Day is a day of remembrance, and that's typically the last Monday in May, which is coming up. So you and I got in the jalopy, and we went over there to Lancaster Cemetery. We interviewed Dale DeBry, who is the manager, and she's a ghostwriter, she's a historian, she's a social force, and she's right in that neat little historical cemetery over there, which is it's still going. They got plots for sale, and they have places where you can take your ashes when it's your turn. And we interviewed her about veterans and about Memorial Day, and we also did a little piece about Father's Day because my dad's over there.
So why don't we go now to Dale DeBry and you at the Lancaster Cemetery District. I'm talking about Memorial Day and what opportunities you have to give back to soldiers that have given their lives. Over 800 veterans buried.
800 buried there. Civil War veterans. I've got 5 Civil War veterans.
Did I get the Civil War? That was the Civil War.
That was a beautiful.
I got it right.
Yeah, watch this. It's at a minute and
you
37
shot
seconds.
it. You shot it.
Did you see my finger in the photo? How'd you know it was me?
Oops, here we go.
Chris Spiker, Antelope Valley Florist, Memorial Day, a day of remembrance. So I'm at Lancaster Cemetery. I got some flowers for my favorite cemetery manager. But you're many things. Dale DeBry, over here at Lancaster Cemetery. You're the manager here?
I am.
And so, when you think of Memorial Day, we come over here. But the community asks so much of you. I'm thinking, what can we do for you?
You brought me some flowers.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Very lovely.
And speaking of nice, I think you're AV Nice, so I brought a little AV Nice wristband for you.
Very good. I'm going to put that on right now.
So what's going on at the cemetery?
Well, for Memorial Day, we're actually starting out Saturday with placing the flags at 9 o'clock if anybody wants to come out and help place the flags.
Public can help place flags?
Definitely. We always need help.
And this happens, how many times a year do you place flags on the graves?
We do it twice. Well, actually, twice. We do the wreaths at Christmas
The public can help, families can help.
Memorial Day, Veterans Day, yes.
What else is going on?
Sunday, we have the Marine Corps League candlelight ceremony. Starts at 7 p.m. We'd love to have you come out. And then on Monday at 10 o'clock, we have our Memorial Day Remembrance Ceremony with some great people, great speakers, J.D. Kennedy and Bob Abrams, Iraqi veteran and a Vietnam veteran. And then at 12 o'clock, we have the Konko Church, which is a Japanese organization, are doing a memorial ceremony down at our Japanese monument.
That's an amazing monument.
It is.
So you've got the Japanese monument, you've got the veterans right here in the court, you've got some Civil War veterans buried here.
Correct.
Quite a historical place.
It is. We have a lot of the old pioneers buried here, and almost 800 veterans are buried here.
Yep, Dad's over there. In fact, we're going to take some flowers over. Now, who's on your board?
Dave Owens is our chairman. Bruce McPherson, we have Richard Cook, and new trustee is Vicki Medina.
So, and you're open every day?
Every day from sunrise to sunset.
You know what, you can visit somebody, or you can, I bet you could even adopt a grave, couldn't you?
You can do that. Just come to the office and see me and I'll set you to work.
Somebody that doesn't get flowers, or a section that needs a little TLC, although the grounds are beautiful.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. I bet there are more rose bushes here than anywhere else in the valley.
I think there might be. Unfortunately, the wind knocked quite a few of the roses off, but it's still beautiful out here.
And I have to remember that these roses are for viewing and sniffing, but not for collecting.
For collecting, no.
So we're at the corner of Lancaster Boulevard and Division Street. Been here for?
Since 1895 was the first recorded burial.
Well, let's go put some flowers on Dad's graves. And Dale, thank you very much for giving us a little lowdown on what's going on.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for the flowers.
You betcha. Enjoy.
Thank you.
We're back.
So that tells us a lot about the cemetery.
I had no idea.
And you've lived here your whole life.
Yes, I was born here.
What a
I'm going to die here, and I'm not going to know it.
I hope we don't die during the show.
No.
You know, so I was just thinking, do you think when I'm interviewing a woman I should hug her, or is a handshake appropriate?
That's a judgment call.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to be with her?
I
I'm kidding.
I gave her flowers in
Yes.
a professional sense.
You
I'm
double
pretty
click.
good at that. And, you know, she was great. She was wonderful to talk to. And we just gave her a heads up that afternoon that we were coming over to shoot.
Not only that, but subliminal. So for the next 4 days, anybody that comes into our office, they're going to have a conversation about your flowers.
Wow. Yeah. And the flowers would be on her desk. And I bet that's just the sort of enthusiasm she needs to get through this crazy, hectic. You know, who else do you know that's working on a holiday? Everybody at Denny's and the people at the hospital.
Is she there every day?
She will be this week because of all the activities they have at the cemetery for veterans and just for everybody to be remembered. It's a big time of visitation. Great time to take flowers.
You brought up a great point about even if you want to, and I'm not even talking veterans at this point, but you can go to her office and adopt a grave.
Wouldn't that be neat?
Dude, I know somebody who needs to.
If you start walking around the cemetery, you know, passing is, if you think about it, it's always kind of sad, always very sad, possibly tragic. But it's part of the deal, and it's exactly what you need at the time. Whew. So they've got a children's section over there from the 1930s, and they have a large area. All the graves say date of death 1918 because there was a large influenza. Remember we talk about the flu, the Hong Kong flu,
right.
and the bird flu. Speaking of birds, that's eerie.
Scary right there.
So in 1918,
Yeah.
they had like thousands of people die from influenza.
Sorry.
You know, is that
Hey, Mom.
Mom,
I'm at the whole weedery for 15 more minutes.
I'm busy.
We're doing the show.
Can I borrow some money?
Okay, I'll see you over there.
That's Joanne. She's 83.
Okay, bye.
She's going to the bingo parlor.
She is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go back.
She's got to be answered.
I'm sorry. I got to answer Mom because it could be something else.
Now she's texting him.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we'll do all that.
No, that's fine. So I'm sorry. Go back to that. Do you know where you're at?
I'm at the cemetery looking at a bunch of graves. Date of death, 1918.
Because of influenza.
The influenza. And, you know, that was right after the First War. Can you go back to, like, you think today is dark? 1918, big war. Millions of people killed. Millions just died in the trenches, in the mud. And then the flu comes and kills another third of the country. Wow. I can see where the Roaring Twenties came from. So, you know, history is like that. And you see history when you go to the cemetery.
Well, you brought this point up. Your father, who was buried in that cemetery, was a veteran.
Yeah.
So, and that's probably a lot of people in this situation. What a great time for remembrance. And we actually shot a video of you giving your putting on the gravesite flowers.
Yep. I mean, you know, I'm the flower guy. I got to take my dad flowers.
Well, let's see it. What do you think?
Okay.
Be right back. Be right back.
Chris Spiker, Antelope Valley Florist. It's Memorial Day, it's Father's Day. I'm going to put some flowers on my dad's grave. And if you're not here in town, you can't get my flowers or something, you can give me a call, 888-948-6006. I'll do it for you. But ever since I was a little kid, we've been all over these cemeteries placing flowers on the graves, and it's all about remembering and it's all about respect. So our fathers taught us well. Hopefully you had a neat dad. So here's some flowers for Dad. He really doesn't care so long as we're here and we're remembering. So he happened to be a Navy vet. He's buried right next to the father, another Navy vet, the father of one of my classmates from high school. So you come out here and you just have all kinds of wonderful memories. And it's a quiet place, it's a garden, it's a respectful place, and so we bring flowers to remember our dads and a day of remembering, Memorial Day. Chris Spiker, enjoying Dad. Wow.
Wow.
Who did that video? That's awesome work.
Well, he is.
The cutting and the music and, you know, the direction, the production, did I say editing?
Yeah.
The way they set it up and the lighting, it's just amazing.
We put a lot of effort. It's about a 20-man crew.
How many cameras do you use on a shoot?
17.
17 cameras on a shoot like that. All for a 2-minute piece.
Well, we shot 45 minutes worth. It's just sitting down and honing.
There's a lot of pieces of film on the floor at home.
Well,
I mean, at the studio.
Well, like on the walk.
Yeah. Yeah, like that walk.
We showed it, by the way, the first thing this morning.
So, man, I tell you.
How's that?
I'm sitting out in the car. You better be ready to go. So I thought I shot 45 minutes of film to get a 2-minute piece.
Hey, Joanne.
But that was training for where I'm going next week.
Which is?
I'm going to England. I wanted to walk Hadrian's Wall.
How long are you going to be there?
2 weeks. I don't know if you should put all that out.
I'm sitting there. I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking, right?
Okay.
I'm sorry. Do I get a check before you go?
You mean like if I don't come back?
No, you're coming back.
Oh.
I can't wait till you come back. We're going to have a lot of good stuff. Because you're really beginning to hone it.
It's all about you. It is all about you.
There you go.
I am here for you.
Wow.
I got nothing more to say.
You've done really well. So with the march, GMO on Monsanto on the 25th, I understand you're going to put something on your sign?
We're going to put up the GMO march on the marquee. Did you see that piece we did for Christopher Perosi?
Dude. So this guy comes into to work with you, and then you guys collaborate on this little mission that no one knows about, but everybody knows about.
We start talking about how's he going to propose and how could the AV florist sign there on J, which we rent. How could that be used in the proposal? And, you know, being a florist and having some rough idea of art and presentation and surprise and, you know, showbiz kind of, smoke and mirrors and what they see, first impressions. First impressions, City of Palmdale. Yoo-hoo. Love those guys.
They're great.
Love those guys. They get it. They get it. And we're part of that valley. Man.
And not only that, but John Milner, I mean, he came over to the walk.
He was on the walk. Did you see him in the video?
Yeah.
And he said some stuff about the Yankees, so we had to bleep that out.
Yeah. If you don't want to talk about the Yankees, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place to live.
Okay, next week. AV Board Trade.
Yeah, we're going to lunch Tuesday. Stu Witt. You know, they have 100 people coming to that lunch already. Typically, they get 40 people at a Board of Trade lunch. Like if Uri was speaking, 40 people.
The rumor has it he's bringing Branson.
Well, that's a wonderful rumor to start spreading. What have you been
smoking? So what I'm saying is
but
that
he will. He
Yes.
will. And someday Richard Branson's going to speak at the Outlaw Conference for free. He will probably follow after my presentation on AV Nice.
I hope it's right before the first mission goes up. That'd be international.
We are cutting edge.
Well, and we are international community.
What fell off?
My glasses.
I'll get them.
Don't step on them. Okay, there we go.
You know, California's a wonderful place. It's the gold country. However, it's really screwed up. However, it's really neat. So which is it?
Well, you know, there's a razor edge both ways everywhere on everything. The yin and the yang.
It's cutting edge.
How do you balance it? You know.
Let's try to ride the blade, baby.
I tell you, though, it was so amazing. We watched it earlier. That Monsanto thing. It's just amazing. I grew up. I mean, I love the word Monsanto because Disneyland.
Well, they did a wonderful job of cramming it down our literal throats.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's time to stop and.
Oh, but in it, if you listen to the, you know, because man, the guys talk all the way through it. He tells you everything they're going to do to us that they're doing to us right now. Wow. Genetically modifying vegetables and fruits. I mean, they say that in the video.
Wow.
But
we thought it was going to be good. Oh, like bigger is better, and riper is better, and sweeter is better, and you know, just the right color. But there's a chemical, a man-made chemical that does that. Wow. And then we're putting that in our system. Hello.
That's right.
Wow. And what do you think all the cancer's about?
Exactly. Well, everything. She said,
let's find a cure for cancer. I'm thinking.
Hello.
Drink pure water.
Exactly.
How much does that cost? Okay.
Well, now it's getting more expensive.
Well,
there's only, by the way,
give me a sign, man. I'm going to go out there.
You know, there's only 9 places in the world that store good seeds.
Is this a joke?
No, it's true.
No. Remind me of something out of high school.
And that the farmers are not called farmers now. The people that are doing this are called growers. Not even called farmers.
Safe seeds that have not been monkeyed with. Wow. I got a lot to learn. I know a lot about flowers. I know.
What is the
I
most,
need to learn more.
Here's some of the things that you talk about flowers. That carnations don't smell, roses don't smell anymore?
They don't have a fragrance.
Yeah.
It's been bred out of them.
Why?
Because we like some of the other benefits. We like big petals. We like large petal counts. We like the colors, the brilliant colors. We like the stem. We like the lack of thorns. We like the lasting ability. And when we're doing all this wonderful stuff to a flower, it loses something. Duh, it loses the fragrance.
They're loud over there?
But that's okay, I'm focused.
Oh, no, don't worry. It's
Okay.
his background there. That's just louder than that.
Who is that singing? Nerman, or what's his name? It's a funny name.
I will hear a voice.
Remember Lloyd Thaxton?
Yeah.
Man, those were the days. Those were the good old days. So, flowers
What's the name of that show?
The Lloyd, 13th Street West, or 13th Street
Go ahead,
East?
go ahead.
Okay.
You gotta be
So,
funny. Go ahead.
roses, genetically modified. To make them last longer, they lose something.
Did you know, Marva, that roses are genetically modified with no fragrance?
The fragrance has disappeared because it's a recessive gene. Hey, don't let your fragrance be a recessive gene. That's
No.
what I'm saying.
That sounded almost...
Take it however you want. Flowers are just a metaphor.
For love? For nice? For what?
Life. Life.
How come? Why do you think we were so attracted? Because the color, the presentation,
The flowers?
yeah.
That's the first thing we see. That's the first thing we paint when we go to school. Paint a flower, paint a daisy. They don't say paint a geranium
No, they don't.
unless your name is Van Gogh.
Then they do.
Paint a sunflower. Theo, go out in the yard and paint a sunflower. No, they say paint a daisy. It's like just a basic flower. And so that's where we get started.
Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do a promo. Ready?
Lay it on me. Nice stuff. You know, go into nice stores, meet nice people, say, encourage them if you can. Say, hey, I like the way your displays are. Or say, hey, here's a suggestion. Always trying to be positive, and it really raises everything.
It does.
You know, makes people think nicer about you, but it makes your little world where you live. You know, if you're not happy here and you want to live somewhere else, you should do that. You should do that. You know, but enjoy where you are. What does Marta say? Enjoy
where you're planted.
Bloom where you're planted.
Which is like flowers.
Yeah. So, you know, I think I just came to a point in my life where it really wasn't about promoting me or the flower shop, which is an ongoing project, but it's about reaching out and doing a little more. And then
see, that's dynamic, and that's where the internet is so helpful because it helps you create conversation.
Yeah. So every week we launch a conversation. We find a story or two or three or four or five or six. What's the most we ever shot in a week? Like maybe 8.
Yeah.
And that creates a serious editing problem.
Yeah. I have right now.
Yeah.
I have 4. I have a zip drive and 3 discs that haven't been touched yet.
Yeah. Well, you know, we want to keep stuff in the hopper.
But we also want to be timely. That's why this weekend, Memorial Day, go see the video. It'll be on iLive today. It's on your YouTube channel.
Yep.
Under AV Flowers.
AV Flowers. And so, do we have different channels now, or everything's still AV Flowers?
AV Flowers, AV Flowers. We did it all.
I interviewed Bill Bird, Pierce College, and everybody he knows. He's 82 years old. He's not on the internet. That's hard to believe. But everybody he knows said, I saw it on Facebook. And his son went on the internet and couldn't find it. Bill Bird, Pierce College, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Who isn't on the internet? Sounds like his son.
Yeah.
So it's out there.
Right.
And so we find these nice people to talk to, and we bring them to light, and we have a short conversation, a couple things they want to talk about, and then we launch it.
We know, as couples, people walking together in life.
You mean
Marva and I, and
you and Marva?
Laura's.
Yeah.
What's really neat is this was your video. There was the first collaboration with Laura's.
The one on the wellness walk?
Yes.
Yeah, I was shooting the camera, and Laura's was pointing things out, and then Laura's, who is an amazing still photographer, was seeing things I didn't see, and took some great stills that we were able to include into the video.
Yeah.
Really helped. You know, we're telling the story, and we're chronicling the day. Who was there? Who was there looking around? Oh, they were there. Oh, they were there. And then each one of those people wants to watch it because they're in the video.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's good. It's a good thing. Well, thanks for launching AV Nice, and we're going to be at Board of Trade next week with Stu Witt. Memorial Weekend. Now, is it so? The service that you can provide is that I can call you, and you will deliver flowers to that grave.
Sometimes the graves are hard to find, hard to locate. So we're walking, looking. We don't have a guarantee that we can put it on the grave because the markings sometimes at some of these facilities are pretty bad. But most of the time they're going right onto the grave because, you know, in some cases the family has not visited that grave for years. You know, for years, which is kind of a weird thought.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you can get school kids to adopt graves and scouts and people that are retired. I mean, a class could go out there and walk around and tell stories about how, how did this person pass away and what was going on in the world when this happened. And this guy was in the Civil War and he died in 1919 and he was living in Lancaster. What in the heck was he doing?
Yeah.
He was a farmer, living in Lancaster. What brought him to Lancaster besides the train?
Right.
What a, wow, learn from history.
It's true. Well, on that note, everybody, we're leaving the Earth right now, and we'll be back next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Young Love After 50. I'm going to thank our GMO people. Don't forget the 25th. It's going to be, and go ahead, run down our sponsors.
AV Nice, Antelope Valley Florist, Avens, AV, Antelope Valley Christian School, Lancaster Insurance, Home-Based Realty, All Pro Carpet Cleaning. I like those guys with their outtake video. Whole Weedery, On the Air TV, AV Nice, Antelope Valley Florist. Did I say that before?
Yeah.
AV Florist.
So I submitted the All Pro cleaning to a YouTube having a competition, and it made the first round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were funny. Did they know they were funny?
No.
Or is it like most of us? We
No.
think we're trying really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah. That was really funny. So everybody have a great week. Be nice to everybody. Be AV nice
There you go.
to everybody. And hey, put a flag on a grave on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? See you later, alligator.